Hi everyone, once again welcome you all in our YouTube video library where we invite various HR professionals to share their views on various HR aspects. Today once again we invited Mr. Govind Singh Negi to share their views on how to design and evaluate performance management system for an organization.
Thank you very much for inviting me one more time. I'll be happy to share my views with all the audience and viewers of this video class.
I would like to tell about Mr. Negi. Mr. Negi comes. Mr. Negi is having more than 15 years of rich experience in human resource management. He has worked with various industries like IT, service, education, and BPO. He is a regular HR blogger. He is also moderator of our HR forum where he helps other HR professionals looking for suggestions by answering their queries and questions. On behalf of HR Success Talk, I welcome you to this platform today.
Thank you very much for inviting me one more time on this. And yeah, you can ask me if you wanted to ask something on performance management.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Negi, we would like to know basically what is HR, what is the performance management system basically, and what factors people should keep in their mind before designing and implementing management system for their organization.
Well, I think in terms, if you ask me, a performance management system is the simplest tool to evaluate how a performance of an individual can be monitored and how that performance should be integrated with organization's objective. That is one of the important factor which should be there while making a performance management system. In nutshell, if in a layman language, the thing is that a person should as an HR, we should be able to identify those areas where we wanted to have, monitor the performance of the individual. And if that is something which we are able to do, that should be a performance management system altogether. Now, what are the things we should keep in mind while designing a performance management system? I would say there are so many things which we have to keep in mind while designing this, for any organization. First, and I think one of the important thing, other than all the theoretical part which is there, but I think practically one of the important thing which is required is the performance management system should always be data driven. When I say data driven, meaning it should be based on facts and figures, and it should not be based on the perception of the manager. Let's say an example. If a salesperson should be evaluated, then the evaluation parameter should be based on the amount of sale that particular salesperson has completed in a particular month, quarter, or year. It should not be left on manager to decide that what kind of rating that manager would like to give it to the salesperson under him. It should be on facts, and it should be a target which has to be given to that person. Second, deciding on the target is having realistic and achievable target while having a performance management system is also very important. Uh, when you are trying to make some evaluation parameter for an individual, it is if you make parameters on or the targets on something which is unrealistic, the performance management system will not sustain itself, because in that case, employee will feel the target which has been given are unrealistic and are not obtainable. Hence, the employee will not even going to put any efforts to achieve that. Uh, Now, question comes: how do you decide on what should be the realistic target? For that, I would say that every company should have data points, should have processes, should have historical data. So, example, if as I was mentioning about a salesperson performance evaluation in my talk, I would say if I have to give a target to a salesperson or a particular profile, I would see what is the average of last 12 months sale that particular person has done, or maybe somebody who was working on his profile earlier has done. In that case, the average of last 12 months actually becomes the target or the starting point for that particular salesperson. In that case, when you do things like that, the salesperson or the person for whom we are making these evaluation parameters will not object, because he knows that on average this has been the trend, and this is something very much which company is achieving right now. Hence there is no question of non this no question of no question that this particular target cannot be achieved. It is very much achieved, and company has done that achievement. So what I was saying is that one, it should be data driven, and the target should be set in a very proper way. The third thing is, when you make your performance management system, it is very important that the education and the communication should be very proper. uh, if I will be evaluated on 5 set of parameter, then it is very important that I should know what are those parameters. So it is the responsibility of the HR and the manager to communicate those parameters and the targets and all the things around that performance management system to the employee, so that employee should not feel that he was not aware and he's been evaluated on something which he was not aware and not agreed. So it's very important to take a buy-in from the employee. And when you have target based on data and history, it is very easy to take buy-in from employees. So education becomes very important. Then the company should have, before starting this performance management system, the company should have very robust processes. If company doesn't have processes, then the company will not have data points. If the company doesn't have data point, then of course you will not be able to design targets which are required. Or maybe in future, when the employee's performance is being evaluated, then you will not have any way to capture those information. And if you don't have a way to capture those information, I really doubt how evaluation of that particular person will be done. So these are the things which I think should be kept in mind while making a performance evaluation system.
All right. So, what do you say? What are the various actions HR should take post performance evaluation of an employee?
All right. Yeah, that's a very important step, because if you have a performance management system in place, until you take actions based on the outcome of this performance evaluation system, the whole management system is useless, and there is no contribution that evaluation system will be adding in your company's growth. I think performance management system is a very important tool. It drives a lot of lot of actions, and that those actions should be taken. Now, if I divide the category of employee after an evaluation system, I would say there are a set of employees who are not doing what they are expected to do. Then there are a set of employees who are doing exactly what they are supposed to do. Then there are a set of employees who are doing more than what they're expected to do. So there are three set of people. Currently, I'm not touching the people who are doing what they're expected to do. So anybody who has been expected to do X, and the person is doing X, in that case, I don't think. Currently, I'm not talking about the actions to be taken on those set of people. I'm talking about people who are doing X minus 5, and people who are doing X plus 5. So that means people who are doing better than what they're supposed to do, and less than what they're supposed to do. Now, starting with people who are doing better than the expectation from them, I think these are the people who are an asset to the company, and company would not like to lose them. These people falls under good performers category. Uh, in that case, the company should have a reward and recognition system to act on those people. Company should have training programs to take those people to the next level. Company should have communication channel to talk to those people, to engage with them, to understand what they are expecting from their career and the company. And whatever is the thing which has come out should be acted on. I'm not going into more detail that what kind of reward and recognition should happen. It's altogether different topic. But I'm saying yes, when company can identify that by using your performance management system, if you know that these are the set of people who are an asset to the company, then I think these things should be done along for those guys. Now, this other set of people who are not performing the way they are expected to perform, then I would say then a series of event has to happen in that case also. So first of all, there should be a discussion with the employee along with the manager, that what are the reasons why that person is not able to achieve. whether the person is not aware about the processes, or there is some resource label problem. We are not able to provide resources to that person. Is there any person problem by which the person is not able to cop up with the targets and the KPIs? So all these things are should be discussed with that person. Still, let's say if the person still doesn't improve, then of course the person should be given a formal letter, and a very formal meeting should have and communicate to employee that if you will not not able if you'll not achieve your targets, of course you're not contributing to your individual targets. You then again, your same time, you're not contributing to the team and the organization. I think there's something wrong, and the employee should wake up and should put all the best efforts to ensure that the targets are met. Still, if employee doesn't perform well, I would say then in that case, the company should end it on happy notes, talk to the person and say that it is not working out, it is a loss for both. So it's better to get separated and let the person go out of the system. So I think these are the action which should be taken on the set of people who are not doing well, and on the set of people who are doing exemplary well. Over to you.
Okay. So as we talk about the organization and the HR people, but what about employees? How the performance management system affect the overall performance or the productivity of employees?
All right. See, I think I have felt that the reason why people leave the company is also because they feel that their contribution is not valued the way it should be valued by the organization. They feel that they are performing more than expected from them, and then here comes the mismatch of the expectation. If you are setting the rules of the game in the beginning of the game, and that rules are known to the employee, I think it becomes a very transparent system. When you have a transparent system where where employee knows that what is expected from that person in terms of numbers, in terms of criteria, in terms of KPI, and what is the way by which he can score higher, and what are the factors by which he will be rated lower, then when the evaluation period gets over, then the employee will not gonna argue on whether he has done better or not, because that is something which is visible, that is something which is available based on data points, and there is no perception, nobody's perception is involved into it. So what I'm trying to say is that even if let's say for example, if the employee is doing very good, there's no way by which manager will say he is not. And if the employee is not doing well, then the employee himself knows that he is not performing well. That means a transparency comes in the system. And when the transparency comes, and if I know that I'm supposed to do this, and that's what I will be considered as a productive to the organization, and how I can be more productive. These are the rules of the game, and if I do all that, I will be considered as more productive. I think that will help him, other than a situation where the employee doesn't know what are the on which parameters the employee is getting evaluated. So what I'm trying to say is that when a person knows that what are the ways and evaluation criteria by which company is evaluating him and rating him, and his career and everything is dependent on, I think the person will be more productive as compared to situation where the employee is not aware. So if he's not aware, he will not be able to deliver what is expected from him. When he's aware, then the productivity increase. And if still the person is not able to be productive, I think that is something wrong at the employee end. And if it's something wrong at the organization end, let that thing come out in the discussion. And I believe this performance management system very much impacts employee productivity in a positive way.
Okay. So I'm sure our viewers will understand basically the concept of performance management and how it benefits the organization. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Sure, Olav. Thank you very much
Thank,
for calling.
thank you.